And the MX-5 Cup once again starts in darkness, and it will stay in darkness because of my fault, really. And the caution comes out already on lap number 1. I think we just saw Tommy Withers go around, Christian Withers went around, and this is going to be difficult, but we're going to make do, won't we? 101 laps, by the way, as I think Matthew Kent just lost control out of turn number 3. Well, we've had races, and we've had races, and here I am thinking that this is going to be something better than the Daytona 500, and I think we've already passed that. This is definitely better than the Daytona 500. Let's see what happened to Tommy Withers on lap number 1. Withers just gets caught up. It looks like his older brother Christian just got turned around and backed up into the 65. And watch for Matt Kent here. I think the 31 just trying to slow down for Christian, and he just loses control, and the field will go around him. So, again, it's going to be an incredibly dimly lit race. Noah Belleville is your race leader in the number 41 Haas MX-5. And if you're wondering how could this happen, it's because they let me design the lobby, and it never goes well. So, anyway, Noah Belleville in that number 41 Haas machine leading the race. 3-time TNT champion Aiden Norman sits behind him. Mark Dila in 3rd. Winston-Salem's Ryan Pennell in the 4th position. Briley Wright sitting in 5th. How about Josh Battles? I think this is his first Thursday Night Thunder start, so welcome to the newcomer there. Toby Estes, one of those Bluegrass Bandits with Cody Briggs behind him in the number 3 Ski Machine. Shout out to Landon as well, who's a big fan of the Bluegrass Bandits. And if you've just tuned in, this race is going to be absolutely ridiculous. And we're here for it. It's MX-5 Cup, and we're just here to screw around and have fun with some race cars, and we hope you like that sort of thing. Shout out to Sammy, who just followed here a few minutes ago. Welcome to Rick James TV as well. Christian Withers, under caution, has put in his fastest lap of the race, 31:72, as has Matthew Kent, the pitcher at A&M, Texas A&M. Running in the 12th position, and Noah Belleville leading this race as the lights are out atop the pace car. So Aiden Norman now is going to line up beside him. And again, in the dark, here we go again. The Mazda MX-5s at Concord. This little half-mile tri-oval. 101 laps is what they're going to run tonight. They get 1 fast repair each. And these are what the points are looking like coming into this race. The points leader just correct under caution. And that 3-digit point lead coming into tonight might just get a little bit smaller. So the green flag comes out. Belleville has control, and we're racing again in pitch black darkness.
It's showtime! Boogity, boogity, boogity!
And Landon just subscribed that they're wrecking out of turn number 4. Matt Kent gets pinched up in the wall. Tommy Withers gets involved again. And it looks like Christian Withers got pinched in that one. And Elrich George also caught a piece of that as well. The Bahamian driver caught up again. And that's the second caution in tonight's race. 9 laps in. And I'm starting to think racing in total darkness might not have been such a great idea. Who would have thought it? Withers in the white Sonic car there got involved. Did he just get loose? Oh, it looks like Kent got loose. He just got pinched up into the wall in turn number 3. And this is last week's winner at Dover, so he goes from first into the wall from Dover all the way to Concord. And what happened here? He hits the apron and he gets loose in turn number 3. Not sure if that's a daylight issue there for Kent. Let's ride on board with the 31.
It's showtime! Boogity, boogity, boogity!
Nearly rolls the little go-kart over. One more look at Matt Kent. just going to see he gets loose. And he just goes for a little flight. So Noah Belleville still in control of this race. The Missouri native leads. Dobson, North Carolina's Aiden Norman, one of several North Carolinians in this race. There's one in Aiden Norman. Dustin Painter there in the number 65 Doritos car with no front bumper from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And growing up with this guy here, Ryan Pennell. Best friends all through childhood. Growing up in Winston-Salem, going to Coca-Cola 600s together. Fantastic life these two have led together. And Ryan Pennell, also from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, running in the top 5. So he and dear friend Dustin Painter coming into this 5th round, the semifinal of the ARCS MX5 Cup Season 3. And it's been nothing but a ridiculous season of made-up races and made-up events. And here we are, 5 races later. Thomas Andrews, you can't see a thing. Because the genius that designed this event shouldn't have designed this event. Noah Belleville is in the 41. He's led every lap so far, I think out of just pure fear of nobody passing him, out of what might happen. So Belleville has control of the field again. Aiden Norman on his outside. Shout out to Sammy, who just subscribed as well, following and subscribing. Appreciate you so much. Welcome you all to Rick James TV. Once again, so 14 laps about to be completed at the Concord Speedway. And my battery's low, so let's plug that in and let's go racing again. It's been a disaster already, but we're going to have fun doing it. Green flag is out. Already contact down below there. Mark Dila, Ryan Pennell involved in a little skirmish. The 22 test driving car loose out of that third corner. Pennell on his outside. 16 laps underway. There goes Dila. There goes Pennell. They crash again, and Dila gets involved in the number 22 test racing car. Let's see what happened to Dila. Just gets on the loose part of the corner, slides up into the racetrack. Looks like Pennell just goes down onto the 22 when he wasn't expecting it, and he slips him up right down the front. Let's have another look at Dila and Pennell getting involved. Yep, 22. Looks like he just gets hooked by the 12. Not sure if they were trying to enter the corner, what happened there. But let's see if we can have a word with the North Carolinian on board with Ryan Pennell. Ryan Pennell, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Got you.
Well, so the genius that made this race tonight had no idea what he was doing, and now we're racing in pure darkness. But by the benefit of the cars behind you, you can see what's out front. Did you see Mark Dila there? What happened there?
Yeah, I saw him. I went high. I thought I was clear, and then obviously it's hard for me to tell being in the car. I don't know if it was my fault or not, but I just had a really good run and went high, and we just made contact. So it is what it is. It's hard to see out here for sure, but that one might have been on me.
Well, the cars are still looking good so far. You don't look like you have a lot of damage on the front fenders here. Hopefully, and let me, as I'm going to be doing all night, just apologize profusely for my mistake. I think it's a tradition by now, but hopefully the race gets a little better for you, and who knows, maybe the sun might come up before we're done. I got no clue.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a good spot. Patrick Allen was about in 7th when he won the first race, so maybe I'm in a good spot. All
right, buddy. Looks like the lights are out atop the pace truck. Let's get back to work. Good luck.
Thanks, man.
So he's going to go back to work. We're going to go back to work as well. The 111 of Josh Battles is on the left-hand side, and with the ARCS license plate on the back of that number 3 on the right-hand side, Cody Riggs will be restarting in the 6th position. Noah Belleville with the lead once again as the pace truck peels off. Nassau's Elrich George starting on the outside of row 5 in 10th. Thomas Andrews catching up with the rest of the field as we go green. Norman doesn't get the jump, and Belleville runs away with the lead. Landon asking to talk to one of the Bluegrass Bandits on their opinion of the guy who created this night race, and I'm afraid, but yeah, I guess on the next caution we'll speak with one of them here. The 31 of Matt Kent on the outside, last week's winner, not faring so well this week. Painter in the 6.5 now coming up behind him, one of another North Carolinians in this race. Christian Withers staying at the back of this one. Thomas Andrews running in 14th. Looks like he's trying to gain some ground. Noah Belleville leading this race. Now, granted, last week's race at Dover, because we're just messing around with the time and everything, last week's race at Dover went about 8 hours here, and considering that this race is on 8X and it's starting at about 8 o'clock sim time, or 8:30 or whenever it was, because I screwed up, this race is probably going to end somewhere around what is the sim time of 4 in the morning, so I have no idea what that means. We're going to find out. I think it's going to remain as a night race, though. It looks like Briley Wright went around. He could be in some trouble. What's wrong with the Bluegrass Bandit? Wright, has he packed it up? Briley in the 51. Did he just disappear out of nowhere? What happened with Briley? Yup, just a huge blink for the 5-1. Is he out of this race? Noah Belleville still leads 0.3 of a second ahead of Aiden Norman. Landon says Briley's fine, just letting him get a little bit of a head start. Box in the chat says Miata's banging doors on a short track in the pitch black dark, just the way the forefathers intended. And actually, I'm pretty sure that is the basis of America. Is, you know, we started this country so we could race MX-5s in the darkness. Noah Belleville so far doing the best job. 30 laps underway, and thank God it's such a short race. Ryan Pinnell sitting in the 3rd position with Toby Estes behind him. How about Josh Battles on the outside in his first MX-5 Cup event? Dustin Painter in the 6.5. He wants to show out for the great state of North Carolina. Thomas Andrews in the pits. I don't know if he's just getting the race car repaired or waiting until the end of this one. Noah Belleville in that 41, just ahead of Aiden Norman by 0.3. Those two are going to duke it out in the darkness. And then 4 seconds behind them, Ryan Pinnell leads a very determined cavalry. Toby Estes in the 19 getting real close with the 12, and now that you think there's some rubber on the racetrack, these drivers might be getting a little more brave with the lines. You see them going a little deeper into the corner. This battle for 3rd getting hotter as Matthew Kent in that 31. He wants to get just a little closer. There's some contact there. Estes says that space is mine for now, Matt. Josh Battles gets to the inside of the Texas A&M pitcher. Now they're 2x2, 2 rows deep. One of the Bluegrass Bandits, Toby Estes, we're riding along with him. He just got into 3rd. Ryan Pinnell wants a piece of that 1-9. It's not so dark when you have a car behind you. When there's nothing in front of you, it could be a little bit intimidating. And that's what Noah Belleville has right now. Aiden Norman just behind them as they continue to race through the darkness. Elrich George might have had a huge blink. There he is there with Cody Riggs behind him. These two fighting it out for 10th. Dustin Painter in the 6.5 to the inside of Matt Kent. And Ryan Pinnell now behind Josh Battles, who's gotten around him. So the North Carolinians have dropped out of 3rd, 4th, and 5th. North Carolina running 2nd, 5th, and 6th. Mark Dela in that double 2. In the iRacing machine, who's spun behind him? Is it Elrich George? He just got really loose into turn number 1. Someone's blinked, and we're in just the cover of pitch darkness and lights flying everywhere. And these two at the front continue to fight it out left and right while there's lap traffic around the track. Nobody knows who's who. I have no idea who's racing where. Just that my timing and scoring tells me this happens to be Aiden Norman and Noah Belleville. If you've just tuned in, it's been hilarious watching these guys race around in just nothing but darkness, and we're going to see them try and continue here. Noah Belleville still leads the race with Aiden Norman behind him. Mark Dela sitting in 8th right now with Tommy Withers just ahead of him. And I think guys have sort of settled into their groove. Ryan Pinnell in the 1-2 now coming up behind Josh Battles. These two side by side, and George, Elrich George, looks like he's just, there he is, just having some blinks. Anybody else catch the end of that Daytona 500 as well? Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you're happy with the result. We were just watching it, anxiously waiting for this race to end. As you see the leaders there, the 41 and the 6-2, trying to get around the 3 of Cody Riggs, who is lapped traffic. He's on the outside. Elrich George has left him, and is that Christian Withers to the inside? It is Withers in the Pabst Blue Ribbon machine. While these two continue to battle, Norman in the 6-2. Belleville in the 41. Landon saying Bowman should have won that. I was rooting for Ross Chastain. I really thought he was going to get the win there. Race leader Noah Belleville trying to get to the inside of Elrich George, and Aiden Norman still holding up the back end. Landon cheering for anybody except Aiden Norman to win. And surprisingly enough, as talented as Aiden Norman is in this race, let's take a look at the points table there. Norman in the purple car trying to take down the Haas car for the race lead. And coming into this race, Aiden Norman is 3rd in the point standings, winless. So we'll see how he does here in the pitch black at Concord. Belleville leading by 0.3 of a second. Tommy Withers with no light shining on his Sonic race car, now chasing down Mark Dela in the 22. Painter in the 6.5. Coming up behind Ryan Pinnell in the 1-2. Pinnell in the 4th position. Painter not running for position. And I think a couple guys blinking their lights going down the front straight there, maybe trying to distract their opponents. That's kind of a flaw, isn't it? Anyway, we're past the halfway point, 52 laps into this race. I think we've had, what, 2-3 cautions maybe? It started out kind of rough, but we've been doing well so far. Toby Estes running in 3rd. 6 seconds off the race for the lead, and here it is, Aiden Norman in the shiny purple, orange, and red 6-2, and then Noah Belleville in the red, white, and black Haas 41 car. Has Belleville won a race? I don't think so. And we need to see what happened with Josh Battles, because he's coming down pit road. Something went on with the 111. This is the Alabama pilot in turn 3. Just caught a bit of the apron. Did he just decide to, let's ride on board with Battles? What happened? Have a listen. It sounds like he just killed the engine. Yep. just downshifted into first and decided to blow the engine there. So Battles now getting the race car repaired, and we'll see if he decides to keep going or if he's going to call it a night. Riley Wright has decided it's time for him as well. He's in the 13th position. Let's see if we can bug him real quick if he's still available. And it looks like Riley's called it a night as well. Belleville leading this race. Ryan Pennell's in second. What happened with Aiden Norman? Is he coming? Is it green flag pit stop time? It is. These drivers actually able to go about 40-ish laps on a tank of fuel. So now it's time for green flag pit stop, something that we didn't think we'd see tonight. Noah Belleville still out by his lonesome. And you can't see a thing because there's nobody behind him. Mark Dila, on the other hand, has Tommy Withers behind him. And these guys, maybe they're going to try and hang out and wait for that yellow. It worked for Josh Garrison at Martinsville, I think. What was the last race? It wasn't Martinsville. What was it? Anyway, yeah, it was, anyway, I can't think of the schedule, but in any case, might it have been Phoenix? You know what? No, because Phoenix was Patrick Allen. Phoenix was Patrick Allen. Round 2 was Darlington. That went to Seth Wansing. Let's see. Last week was Dover. That went to Matthew Kent. It was Martinsville. It was Martinsville. That was round 3. So let's recap the races. As you see this battle here, Mark Dila just ahead of Tommy Withers by 0.4 of a second. Cody Riggs sitting in third right now. If a caution comes out, these guys are sitting pretty. Riggs decides he's going to come down into the pits. So now Mark Dila. He's still leading this race by 0.4 of a second. Only 2 cars on the lead lap. It's Dila and it's Withers. They pitted on laps 17 and 18. So if the Drip Diecast and Collectibles facts tell you anything, in these 55 miles, drivers are only going to be able to go approximately 40 laps. They might be able to stretch it out to 45. Battles has crashed. He's in the middle of the racetrack, and he's jumped to the pits. Let's see what happened to the 111 again. Now Pennell has crashed. Does he collect somebody else? Nope, he's good. Looks like one car was spinning out behind him. This is back to Josh Battles in the 111. Caught the apron. Did he get loose? Just caught the apron. Got loose again. Let's ride on board with Battles. Does he shift into first again? Watch on the dashboard. See what he does. Just goes in way too hard in third gear. He's binned it. Ryan Pennell looks like he's also gone around once again, and the caution is out. Caution is out. Mark Dila and Tommy Withers have not pitted. They make it through the wreck. Ryan Pennell has crashed. Who was also involved? Christian Withers in the PBR machine. He got a piece of it too. Let's see if we can actually get some light. Well, we get some light now that Christian Withers has jumped to the pits. Mark Dila, your race leader. Tommy Withers in second. The gamble pays off. And now, with what, 35 laps to go, drivers are going to have enough fuel, enough tires to make it to the end of this poorly lit MX5 semifinal. I think next week in Michigan, we might just stop playing with the settings and let things be how they are, just to make sure we can see. Because if this kind of garbage goes on at the Michigan Speedway, we're going to be in real trouble. So we'll make sure this goes on just fine. But hey, it's been entertaining, if nothing, right? It's been not your average race, and I guess that's that's the aim of the MX5 Cup. We're just messing around. We're just having a good time. And we hope you're here because you're having a good time, too. Landon asking if Pennell is from Good Hope, Georgia. Pennell is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Racing at his home track tonight. Aiden Norman from Dobson, North Carolina. Dustin Painter from just down the street, as Ryan Pennell and those two growing up and being the best of friends as well. growing up together as neighbors, coming up into iRacing together as friends and fierce competitors as well, and arm in arm coming into this semi-final. But don't think they're going to give each other any slack in these final 30-some, maybe 20-some laps when we go back to green. Mark Dila pitting on lap 83, still leading this race with Aiden Norman behind him. And let's see here. Let's see if he's got a chance to win this one. Mark Dila, Rick James up top. Can you hear me? Mark Dila, Rick James in the booth. You got a copy? And no audio from Dila. So we're going to let him go back to work. $70 laps now on the board. And it looks like cars are going to get their wave around, and we're going to line up for the restart. It's going to be 30 laps to go at the Concord Speedway, at the dimly lit Concord Speedway. You better hold on. You had better hold on. Now, here's the catch. There's only 5 cars on the lead lap because the caution came out just as these two were yet to... As the green flag comes out, Mark Dila and Tommy Withers stayed out as long as possible, and they trapped all but 5 cars. Now, of course, we have the lucky dog, Dustin Painter, the first car and the only car 1 lap down. So if the caution comes out, Painter gets his lap back. Mark Dila runs away with the lead, and he hits the wall. Tommy Withers also does. Aiden Norman will make it 3 wide for the lead and come away with first place with 29 laps to go. Dila struggling to hold on. Withers behind him. Noah Belleville in 4th. Matt Kent in 5th. 28 to go this time by. Norman with the lead. Norman pulling away what's probably the largest lead of the night tonight, but Noah Belleville right behind him, who was leading the majority of the race, and coming up to 20-some laps to go. Noah Belleville coming up behind Aiden Norman. Chad says, I told my grandma this was real. Well, if it's real for your grandma, I guess it's real then. Ryan Pennell getting moved out of the way by Noah Belleville. Laps continue to tick down at the Concord Speedway, and this race was supposed to be late in daytime, but the genius that they allowed to set up this iRacing lobby, me, it's the MX-5 Cup, so we're gonna screw around with the time and the settings as well. So we said let's try it at daytime with 8X, and I wasn't paying attention when I created the lobby, so I made it nighttime with 8X. So Aiden Norman is leading this night race, dimly lit by these MX-5s. He's got a 1.5-second lead over Noah Belleville with 23 to go this time by. Matt Kent's in 3rd with Mark Dila behind him. Kent catches the apron, and that is actually what got Matt Kent earlier in this race. He caught the apron, and it sent his race car just in the wrong direction. Have a look at Matt Kent. This is on lap number 2 under caution. Just loses control out of turn number 4. Turn number 3. What am I thinking? Turn 4. But he's battled back to be sitting in 3rd. Dila sits behind him in the double deuce. Aiden Norman's lead grows. 2.5 seconds now over Noah Belleville with 2:0 to go. Here comes Dila to the inside of Kent. And he just can't pull off the move, but he's trying. Dila has the inside line. He catches that apron, but is there enough grip on the apron? Matt Kent on his outside now. 1-9 at the line. This time by Dila gets 3rd place on Matt Kent. Dustin Painter, the first car 1 lap down. So waiting on a yellow to come out Elridge George, 2 laps off the pace. HX saying Kent blew it all sky high. Still plenty of fight from the Avengers 31. And the way Dila is taking those corners, he could drive it in too deep and spin the race car. It has happened before. And there's the caution. Dustin Painter will get his lap back. And Cody Riggs, one of the Bluegrass Bandits, looks like he's crashed the car. Let's see what happened to Riggs on lap 65. And by his lonesome, the dimly lit number 3. Did he catch the apron? Sends it in too deep. Let's go on board with the Bluegrass Bandit again. Oh, there's a great shot. A really well-defined video of his hood there as he spins the car and goes around. That's Cody Riggs in the 3, so he just loses control of the race car there. So Dustin Painter will get his lap back. We'll have some wave arounds as well. Landon saying, dude had one too many skis. And let's talk to the Bluegrass Bandit. See if we can get a word on him. Cody Riggs, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
I got you, buddy.
Hey, buddy. So Landon saying you had one too many skis, buddy, and the car just went around there. A dimly lit racetrack, but for obvious reasons and hilarious reasons. In any case, how is the driving? Is it impossible because of the light or lack of?
No, it's not too bad when you've got some people in front of you because their headlights are lighting it up pretty good. But you get out here on cold tires and it's pretty tough to drive through the first few laps until they come in, and that's what happened to me right there. I came out of the pits and should have babied it a little bit more than I did and just let it loop on me. Thought I had enough time to get back down the track, and Ryan came around a lot faster than what I was thinking. So that was just a rookie mistake right there on a veteran guy, I guess. But yeah, no, it's still fun once we can get out here and run some laps. I've got quite a bit of damage I'm trying to fix. When I got in that last wreck earlier, I had just used my fast repair, so now I just gotta wait.
Well, there might be a couple more yellows. You might get another chance here. We'll see what happens. But you know, at least we know for next week the race is going to be in the daytime. I can promise you that. Which I was just saying earlier, I think we might want for a 2-mile oval at Michigan. But I think the craziness lasts one more week, and then you guys will be free of all this, man. But I tell you what, it does look like fun when you take away the garbage lighting and the pitch black racing.
Man, it is a lot of fun. I'm gonna miss running them on Mondays. I'm already looking forward to the next season of it, to be honest. So.
At this point, after running these races in the pitch black, we might as well just do them at like a rallycross track and do a jump or something. I have no idea.
Hey, we can try it out for sure.
We're going to let you get back to work, man. Landon sends his best, and let's put on a show for the rest of the fans at home, man. Have a good one.
All right, man. Thank you.
Lucky number 13 laps to go becomes a last dark, dirty dozen at Concord. We'll see how clean they keep it in these final 12 laps. The 41 of Belleville will sneak immediately to the inside of Aiden Norman. Dila gets behind him. They make contact. Belleville keeps it off the wall, but now he opens up the floor for Matt Kent. Kent in the 31 gets around the 41. 11 laps to go. Norman breaking out with this lead. Dila, can he keep up with the 6-2? Belleville to the inside of Matt Kent. Dustin Painter still 1 lap off the pace. I guess he must have pitted. Maybe he didn't get his lap back. Not sure about that one, but Elridge George 2 laps off the pace. Look at Matt Kent on the outside, and Aiden Norman goes purple as Kent smacks the wall. Elridge George coming up behind the 31. 17-16 for the North Carolinian. 9 at the line, and Norman has Mark Dila within a second. How about Belleville coming out of turn number 3 with Matt Kent behind him? He smacked that wall hard, though, coming out of turn number 3. Kent's going to try and keep it in one piece. A lot of drivers in the pits, a lot of drivers just trying to keep the race car running at the end. Aiden Norman running away with this one, and Dila just can't keep up. 7 more revolutions around this racetrack, and these drivers, they can keep trying their hardest, but Aiden Norman just trying to shut the game down. On board with the 6-2. Norman smacks the wall. Even a three-time TNT champion might have some trouble keeping that race car together. Coming off of turn number 1, Mark Dealer within 1.5 seconds, but did Norman inflict enough damage on the race car that it's going to make a difference in these last 4 laps? 1.6 seconds the gap, and he's only growing it larger. And Landon says if Aiden's PC shut off, I'd be cool with it. I think a couple of guys just might. And I think a lot of guys are just glad that this one's about to be over in 3 more laps so we can put this one to bed and watch the Xfinity race from here. But Cody Riggs looks like he's crashed again. Let's see what happened. There he is on the front straight. No caution so far. Aiden Norman leading this race, coming to 2 laps to go. Norman in front. Is that Ryan Pennell? Right in front of the race leader. What kind of shenanigans is this North Carolinian up to? Coming to the white flag. Noah Belleville just went purple, 17-12. It is a bonus point for fastest lap. Belleville now coming up behind Norman, but not for position. White flag is out, and it's a race no matter what. The pride of Dobson, North Carolina. Is he going to get just a little bit of attention from Noah Belleville there? 1 lap off the pace. Belleville coming up behind the 6-2. No shenanigans here. It's going to be a North Carolina victory. Norman wins the semifinal at Concord. Mark Deala in second. Matt Kent in third. And in whatever remains of this Mazda Monday Championship, Aiden Norman, as the lights shut off around him, as the drivers say, I've had enough, let's pack it up and go home, wins this race. He's going to try and do a burnout, and he's not going to be successful. And he's going to do a circle. Maybe not a burnout, but he's going to do a circle. So let's pack the drivers, let's put them on the podium, and let's put this one to bed and go watch some Xfinity racing fans. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in a minute with our top 3. On the podium with 2 out of our top 3 tonight, starting with tonight's bronze medalist, Matt Kent, who will go into next week's final at Michigan, leading the points by 1 marker over Aiden Norman. And Matt Kent, the gauntlet's been thrown down. All you got to do is beat Aiden Norman to the line next week at Michigan, and you just might be champion.
Sure, I know Dover was kind of the draft track, and Michigan is definitely going to be that way as well. So it's going to come down to where the lanes and the runs come from, and hopefully we're coming 1-2 to the line to settle the whole thing at the end.
We'll see you next week in the Rolling Hills. Aiden Norman, tonight's race winner, as successful as you've been in other leagues as well. And I guess you can also blame the ridiculousness of our fun little MX5 series, but this is your first win this year. You and Kent both have a win. And the challenge is simple as well. Without bonus points, you'll have to beat Matt Kent to the line to be champion next week at Michigan. But it looks like it's going to be a really close battle all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think we're both going to definitely give it our all there. Well, as much as we can. It's a draft track. It's going to be a little bit of, probably a lot of bit of luck involved. Depends on if Quiet shows up and likes to send bump drafts at about 30 miles an hour quicker than everyone else. But I'm looking forward to it. I think last season I only won the championship with 1 win, and that was on a road course. That was a little bit easier than it was tonight. So it's definitely gonna be a tough battle.
We're going to see what happens 7 days from now. Fans, we're going to decide season 3 of this ridiculous, fun little go-kart series next Monday night right here, 8:30 on Rick James TV. Get ready for that. Thursday night, we're going to have the Gen 4 cars back here on Rick James TV as well. So if you haven't seen Thursday Night Thunder, get a piece of the action. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're taking these things to Darlington Thursday right here, Rick James TV. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other. And we will see you all